Hello and welcome to this edition of Pimp My Diecast, and today we'll be having a go at one of the kits that was available in the middle of Lidl, a discount kit from Airfix, and it's the Aston Martin DB5 starter set, and I rate it. It's a good kit. It's actually a very good kit. And the actual car modelled is a real car. It's available for weddings and wedding hire in the Kent area. I think it's called Occasion Cars or something like that. But it's available for weddings and photo shoots, etc. Dogs' birthdays, whatever you want. Anyway, we're beginning on the kit. And it has a couple of mould lines right on top of the wings. They're not actually that bad. They're only light, but if you want a good model, it's a sand them off. And I've only got finish sandpaper, wet and dry, whatever. I think it's wet and dry I used. Just to rough it up a bit, I was just checking the roof. But on the whole, it's not that bad. It's not that bad a moulding, really. Just taking a bit of the sprue gate off the rear bumper. I sanded that as well in here. I'm spraying it. And I decided on a colour called gunmetal. I did it with spray cans, like automotive paints, which bit me a bit, but hey ho. And there I'm doing the bottom end for the sills and stuff, and at this point I put automotive 2K lacquer on it to bring the shine up, but I had a bit of a mishap and I spoiled my finish because I had to do touch-ups, you'll see that later. And here I'm gluing the rear seats in. What I'll say about this kit as I'm doing it, everything on it's beautifully thought out. The glue weren't doing it for me there, so I got a brush that put a lot more on. And here I'm sanding the seats down. They benefit from a little bit of sanding down in areas where they've been attached to the sprue and stuff like that. And at this point I'm gluing the seats. Just putting a little escapee. A little escape, little, you get it, little escaping. Oh, never mind, suit yourselves. And there we go, another dab in. And here I'm painting the carpets black. And what I do, I paint it black. Excuse me, I paint it black. But I use like a cut down brush, I think, if I remember rightly, or my dry brush for dabbing it like that to put. It's to put some texture in because the paint's a bit thick. It's put texture in for the carpets. I'm using Citadel paints here. I'm using, flipping out, what is it? I can't think of name now. Mephiston Red. And there. I've done Mephisto red, and I've done an Agrax Earthshade wash to go down into the recesses on the seat to give it depth. And here I'm dry brushing over it again with the Mephisto red, just to to bring the colour back and leave the dark in the gaps. I'm sure you'll get what I mean. And that's that one out of the way. And the next, after I've done that, I use Evil Sun Scarlet for the highlights, the main highlights. I think I'm still using Mephisto red to get it, just to get rid of the Agrax Earthshade in the areas I don't want it. Because I only want it in the recesses. And there we are after it's been done over with Agrax Earthshade. And now we do a dry brushing of Evil Sun Scarlet on some of the highest points to give it that bit more depth, and there we go. And then we go on to, after we're doing door cards, doing it over a dry brush over it, because red leather in old cars, some of the old cars, it was very... Here I'm doing the highlights. I'm using real yellow, a Citadel colour. See what it had, the old leather, the old red leather in old cars, it had like a patchy appearance, and you could see reds and scarlets and yellows and oranges in it. I've tried depicting that. I think it works quite well when you see it all together. It looks quite effective. And I'm using a bent brush there. Not by design, it's just it was left in my water pot. And it's bent, but it proved to be handy. As there you can see now, you can see the depth in the seats, and you can see the imitation of the old leather. It's just done by washes and dry brushing. And here I'm painting the dash, and under the dash I didn't spray it, it'd have been a little bit better spraying, but not that you'd notice. Brushing's perfectly adequate. And here I'm dry brushing the silver onto the dash, all the dials, etc. All the controls, and there it's got the speedos in, and I've dry brushed the dash because there's quite a lot of silver on an Aston Martin dash, mainly in surrounds. If I'd have gone fully overboard, I'd have probably put some crystal clear over the decals, but I didn't. Anyway, the steering wheel, I've depicted it there. Here I'm putting the blue centre, the badge in the centre of the steering wheel's blue. So it's just getting that dab of blue in. It's blue with a silver outside, so that's what it's got. And also I've done the rivets on the wooden steering wheel. They had rivets holding the steering wheel together. And here I'm just taking parts off the sprue, cleaning the bits of attached plastic off them and putting them onto a piece of wood. I'm attaching with black tack onto a piece of wood, so it's convenient for in the spray booth. And here I've assembled the bottom of the car because it's an assembly, and I'm spraying matte black. Technically it probably should all be factory colour if you were going for a factory look. And I've sprayed the items black, primer, and the engine and exhaust unit I'm spraying silver for future treatments. Ready for future treatments. And the others I'm spraying with Molotov chrome through my airbrush. It ends up being a nice effect for the wheels. I've made some mistakes on the kit that's made it a bit substandard to what I'd liked. Here I'm using canvas to dry brush and highlight into the black pieces. It just gives a little bit of an highlight to take away from the black. And here I'm using some, it's like a muddy brown colour. Just, there we go. It's just to bring up detail more than anything. And they're not clean underneath cars. And anyway, here I'm using Tamiya's exhaust staining. It's like weathering powders, a mascara for models, if you will. Ducks. Anyway, I'm doing the exhaust bluing, because exhaust blue they get blue from heat on manifolds, especially on performance cars. And here what I'm doing, I've got the Agrax Earthshade again, and I'm giving the whole engine box an exhaust to wash. Apart from where I've done the exhaust bluing, because it'd just wash it off while we leave that to dry. I'm using a black wash to give the wheels depth. The actual chrome after died down on the wheels, and here I'm dry brushing the silver on the exhaust to bring. I still want them to look dirty, but not as dirty, if you know what I mean. I want some of the original colour back, and there we go. The exhaust bluing's pretty subtle, and the exhausts are back to normal. Interior's looking good. Looking rather nice. And at this point I decided to glue the transparencies in. And these transparencies, the old kit, it's engineered to perfection. Seriously, if you're a starter, this kit, there's not a lot you can go wrong with it. It's been honestly, in all my years of model building, it's one of the nicest engineered kits and the most thought out for builders. It's only simple, but the things they've thought out properly on it from a builder's perspective, it's just an outstanding kit. And to be honest, for the detail as well, you couldn't wish much more for the detail. The only thing you can wish for is if they give you a black strip in the decals for that bonnet moulding. Because it isn't all that, and you do see black there. It's more obvious on lighter coloured cars. If you did it, say, white or red, but it's something they could think of adding on future decal sheets. It's the only thing I've seen it pulled for, and it's the only gripe I can give the full kit, because it's a really well engineered, well thought out. Honestly, if you haven't built it, give it a go. And I'm just doing... Even this, what a super idea to make painting easier for newbies. The wheel where you want it painted on the outside, you can spray keep it simple. You can paint the middle silver and the tyre black, and then you glue it together and you don't have to worry about getting silver on your tyre or black on the wheel. It just... simple thoughts like that. So the kit's made it a pleasure to build. And here I'm mixing a muddy mix out of a very light brown and black, and that was for dry brushing the tyres, for road dirt on it. Normally I'll use, you can get model colour, Vallejo, and they do a dark rubber and light rubber. They look good when you're doing wheels, and here I'm touching places where I damaged my paintwork, where I really shouldn't have. It was just through being an arse. Anyway, here's the finished result, and it makes a very pretty, well-proportioned model. Some have complained that the doors don't have glass with it. I think that'd just overcomplicate it, really. I don't think it needs it, and it helps you to see in, because there's a nice amount of detail inside. Pretty much everything's there that's on the real car. And that goes for the outside. The decal kit's a beautiful set. It works really well. It's nice having an authentic registration. If you do it silver, you've got the confidence of knowing it's a real car. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed watching, please subscribe. If you're a subscriber already, cheers for sticking around, you're appreciated. And it's been enjoyable doing this build. Go out and buy one and give it a go. You'll be glad you did. Tatty pie, people. Tatty pie.